Yo, what's up guys, Brandon here. So today I'll be doing a video around Spa Francorchamps in the McLaren GT3. Basically it's going to be a coaching video, giving you guys tips and tricks to basically extract the most out of your lap time, and yeah, try and shave off them few extra attempts you might be struggling with. But yeah, it's going to be footage from my last race in the 2 challenge, so this was about a week ago, so I managed to bring home P5, which is a pretty solid result, honestly. We started P7 after invalidating our best quali lap. And then yeah, managed to make our way up to P5, fighting for the top 3 spot with some pretty good drivers. So yeah, nearly got that top 3 to go through to the semi-finals, but I'm sure we're going to be working as hard as ever this month with our teammates to be getting through to that spot. Because basically the top 3 from each race go through to the semi-finals. So yeah, basically we have 6 chances to do it. So we have a lot of chances, but yeah, working extra hard this month to do so. So no, but let's get into it though. And see what we can do. So yeah, we're going to be starting on the last sector here. I'll talk through the lap as we start. So into the last chicane here and starting our lap. So ideally, if you're doing a hot lap, you want to go all the way out here to maximise your exit onto the straight for the first corner. But yeah, as we're in a race right now, we're not doing that. But yeah, usually you would slow right down in the chicane and move right to the right, and then maximise your exit to get the best run possible into the first corner. Yeah, let's get into it then. So yeah, so into the first corner here, you want to be positioning yourself all the way to the left, or left as possible, to give you the best turning radius for this corner here. Yeah, so as you can see, I have 2 cars battling ahead of me. So obviously vision's kind of obscured here, but the main thing you want to be doing in each corner is looking ahead. So I'll show you where my vision's looking right now. So when I start to brake, you want to be braking first on the 100-meter board. So around here. So as my car passes that, I know it's time to brake, and I do a slow release of the brakes, so trail braking, which I touched on a lot in my last video in detail. But a quick overview, like I said, the technique is basically you want to brake as hard as possible at the start and slowly, gradually ease off the brake to add rotation to your car when you go into a corner. So it works really on slow corners. For fast corners, I don't really think it's necessary, but it can help though, honestly. Yeah, so yeah, braking off the 100-meter board here. And my vision is looking here. So see where this car here is? This is second place, man. But yeah, I'm looking here. So even though this car's ahead of me, that's another tip that I could give you, is even if you're racing with cars, obviously it's necessary to pay attention to where the other cars are. But yeah, it's more important to look at your apex because you don't want to be looking where they are because they're battling right now. So yeah, so I'm looking here at the moment. So obviously paying attention to the 2 cars in front of me to make sure there's no like contact, etc. They're not no crashing, whatever. So yeah, looking to my apex here and slowly releasing the brake into the corner. And just about now is when I apply a throttle. In the McLaren here, you can kind of plant the throttle straight on. This is what works in this corner. So what I see most of the top guys doing, and what I also do, is you trail brake into the corner. As soon as you rotate the car where it's kind of straight on the throttle. No easing on, just straight on. And yeah, to give you a nice boost out of the corner here. And then opening up to the exit, so using all the track out here. And also another little aspect is in Spa, you want to be using TC0 a lot. So TC0, it's a very touched on subject, so some people may not agree with it, some people do. But I noticed a lot of the top guys recently, we've been doing this. So on the exits of corners, you want to be activating TC0, especially in the McLaren. It's really easy because you're always in TC1. Yeah, some people say it doesn't make any difference. I think it personally does. I've seen improvements in my lap time using it. So yeah, but no, activating TT0 on the exits here is a really must if you want to be getting the most out of your lap. So and yeah, also using up Rouge as well. So I keep it on or off during the straights as well. But I think yeah, it doesn't make that much of a difference on the straight as your TC isn't always being activated. But you know, it kind of plays the boo. Every single bump makes a little bit of TC in your head. So. You know, but I think Eau Rouge is definitely an important one. So it's really important to wear Rouge here because obviously the TC does, not here, but the TC does kick in. There's a little TC cut here, so having TC0 does benefit that slightly. But yeah, speaking about Eau Rouge though, so basic corner. It looks intimidating, but it's quite basic to attack. So you want to position yourself as far to the right as possible. So you can see George Boothby in front of me. He's a pretty quick driver. He's positioning himself right to the right. The reasoning for me being in the middle here is so I can see the corner because there's 2 McLarens straight in front of me. So I want to have slight vision. I'm going to the corner. So yeah, but no. So attacking the curb fully here to the left, you want to be using all of that. So again, my vision is a bit obscured here because I'm in a battle, but you want to be using all of that, all the grey there, to give yourself a straight line possible to this corner here. But yeah, there's two ways you can do a rouge. So you can take it flat, which is the best way possible, or you can have a little lift to be cautious. I'd say using this inside curb here is also beneficial, but only 2 wheels. Any more than that, and you'll be pirouetting around. So I'd say a safe way to do it is probably just to avoid that curb. And yeah, keep your steering on. So keep the steering lock on until you know you're going to make the left-hander and not obscure track limits. So you see here, I keep the steering lock on, and then once I see I'm going to go straight across it, you can kind of keep 2 wheels on this yellow and red curb here. So once you know 2 wheels are on there, you're safe. But any more than that, it's going to be a track limit penalty, so you don't want to be doing that. So yeah. And again, you have a bit of a breather down here, so this is kind of time to relax, take a breather. Obviously, I'm in a battle right now, so can't really be breathing that much. But yeah, you want to be taking breathers here, just analysing your lap, thinking about the sets coming up, which is the middle sector, which is a pretty tight and twisty, unique sector compared to the rest. I think, yeah, that's the most challenging sector on the track, I'd say. You have the pretty simple first sector, the last sectors are quite a straightaway, it's a long straightaway, and this is the most important sector for the lap. So yeah. Okay, so as you can see, I'm getting a good run on the guy in front of me here. So I do this to dummy him, to make him have to defend, to then make my exit. Basically, what I'm doing here is forcing him to go to the inside, so then I'm not actually going to go for a move, because I know I'm too far back, but then to put it in his mind, to make sure that I can get a best exit into the next corner, to then see I have a good chance to attack going into the complex after that. So obviously he defends here, and that's good for me. Had to break a little bit early here to be safe, but yeah, that gives me a better run into this corner. Here. So yeah, for this corner here, obviously I'm going a bit slow because we're battling right now, but the main thing you want to do is be trail braking into this corner here, and you want to slowly release the brake until you touch the green on the inside. So I'm going to be aiming for this where he is there, slowly releasing off the brake, and as you're on here, you slowly apply throttle again. Another lift as well, just to cushion your car, to get some rotation to the left hand corner here. It's not a big corner, but you know, just a little extra rotation is necessary. And you want to be positioning yourself as well. So when I'm here, I'm thinking ahead, right? So I'm like, the next corner here is going to be a right-hander. So I'm like, I want to get myself as far to the left as possible, to position myself perfectly for the right-hander, which these two in front of me do perfectly here. You can see they're right over there. Me, as I'm battling, that was my main focus at this point, but yeah, it's ideal to be over there to get the best run. So as you can see, there's an alternative you can do. So you can use more of the inside curb here, but you can see he gets a much better exit than me, so it's much more beneficial to take more time, basically slow in, fast out around that corner, which is a simple saying in racing. So yeah, but as you can say, this is an alternative you can do. If you're battling, for example, you can do this, but it does still crop up more speed than if you did go to the outside. So yeah, you see all the run off there. Breaking point for this corner, my reference is the left-hand curb here. So as I see this curb, you want to be doing a diagonal brake towards the apex. Sounds complex, but it isn't. It's very simple. So a diagonal brake towards the apex, and basically utilize the trail braking technique again, as this is a slow corner. And yeah, basically, so you'll see I point my car to the apex, and then start trail braking. And you just want to slightly miss the apex here, only slightly. You can see booth B's on the inside of the curb there, which is also a way you can do it, but then that allows you to not go on the throttle until you're off it, or your traction will slip. Or you can stay in second here, but I'm using engine braking. So the two ways you can do this corner is either going in second, which he's doing in front of me, which I know from watching his replay back, or you can go into first to use engine braking and utilize that, and then short shift back up to second, which I always do. So yeah, as you can see, I short shift back up to second here fairly instantly. Don't even use throttle on first, and then yeah, using all the track on the exit here. Or I could say that, but to be honest, using this green here, it doesn't settle the car and makes your life so much harder to go to the right here, to position for this corner. So I'd say stay off that if you can. But yeah, you want to also position all the way to the right for this corner though. It's really important. As you can see, we're all on the curb here. I'm braking on this curb and then slowly releasing into this part of the corner. we're off the brake now, just coasting slightly, and slowly just ease back on the throttle here and use the runoff on the outside. As you can see, they go a bit wide there, but I want to stay on track limit, so I stay on the track here. But yeah, that's a bit wide, so that'd probably be a cut track penalty for him there. So yeah. But yeah, so this corner here, 2 ways you can do it again. There's a lot of alternative driving styles people are doing through here. So as you can see, I use all the track here, using all the curb positioning to the right. And yeah, you can either do 2 things. You can attack the apex very early and go down to 3rd gear, giving yourself a nice exit out of the corner, or you can carry more momentum through the corner and keep it in 4th, which I like to do. As you can see, the driver in front of me here, he may go into 3rd. Oh, he stays in, okay, yeah, he goes into 3rd. As you can see, some drivers do that, but for me personally, I stay in 4th. As you can see, he kind of misses the apex here too. So yeah, being in 4th is it's a more consistent way to do it, I'd say. Maybe doing a hot lap 3rd is the best option, but I'd say if you carry enough momentum, 4th is a good option too. You know, some drivers use different gears, that's how it works, so yeah. Because I get a better run through here than he does. But yeah, like I said, explaining the corner kind of more in detail. So yeah, gradually braking into 4th. It's not really a trail brake here, as a fast corner, it's kind of a stamp, or not, yeah, kind of a stamp, and off the brake, and then allow the car to rotate, and then back on throttle slowly, easing and opening the corner out. So as you can see here, I'm opening the corner up. Don't want to be using this curb either, because the green, it can then see what happened to him there. If you go on the green, it keeps you out there. You know what I mean? So he misses the apex here, goes on the green a bit, keeps him out there. And as you can see, it didn't affect him a lot, but for them minute temps or a hot lap, it does. So you want to be staying tight around here. It's a more important thing. Yeah, using the curb out here is fine. Yeah, again, my braking point here is a shadow created by the board here. So I look at the shadow here, and I'm like, after the shadow, I'm going to brake. And yeah, this corner is a very complex one, and it requires a lot of precision. So under here, as soon as I see the shadow, I'm braking. Ideally, you want to be using this curb, but obviously, I'm in a race, so I was trying to stay in this toe at this point. But that's one thing you can kind of see. So in races, people kind of follow the driver in front of them by instinct. Even if they're not quicker than you, it's kind of an instinct thing to look at the car in front of you and follow what they're doing. Or they just give you some reference, if you know what I mean. Obviously, at this point, I'm looking at the apex, but instinctively, my brain's following the car in front of me, line-wise. That's what you kind of see. That kind of happens in racing a lot. So, but yeah. So into 3rd here, and down to 2nd. And yeah, slowly, so on the brake here, you can hear the ABS activating. And it's a quick release here to allow the car to rotate quickly, because that'll make the front point in quickly, and that's what we want around here. So yeah, car rotates in 2nd, and slowly power through it. It's a very gentle power through, because on this curb here, too much can allow the car to slip, and the wheel will go around and you'll spin. So you have to be very gentle on the throttle here. Treat it like you're just, it's like nurturing something, so you have to be so gentle with it. You can kind of feel it in the wheel as well. Obviously in a real car you better feel it underneath you, but in this you can kind of feel when it's going to go and slipping. Just be really gentle with it. So yeah. And a quick short shift into 3rd here to balance the revs and balance the car. Yeah, 2nd in here it wouldn't be ideal because you're carrying too much momentum at this point for 2nd. So yeah, it would just rev out and you'd lose a lot of time. But yeah, so into 3rd here settles the car. I think there's no braking here either, it's a little lift. And then slowly just back on the throttle, utilizing all the inside curve here. You see Boothby does perfectly in front of me. So yeah, following this line here. And then using all the runoff here. That's not track limit, so you can use everything here. 2 wheels on this is fine. Obviously you don't want to drop a wheel on the grass. I've done that a lot of times, and that's a really easy way to scrub off time and ruin your lap. So yeah, want to be careful of that. But other than that, I think, yeah, that's an ideal perfect line there. Positioning himself perfectly for the left-hander there as well, so as I do as well. So right to the left here, using all the curb here to get the best exit. Going to the right-hander because it allows you to have more turn in, and yeah, opens up the corner more. So but yeah, so into here, this one's I'd say this is a very unique corner. It's a slow but hard brake, and you have to slowly release it. So it's kind of trail braking utilized here, but it's like a sped up version of it in a way. Obviously into a hairpin you would just go slowly, brake really hard, slowly release, and then apply throttle. But in here it's a quick press of the brake, but then you just quickly release it, and then allow the car to rotate during coasting. So you'll see what I mean. So on the brake here, and then we let go here, let the car rotate, because obviously when you come off the brake and just let go of it, the front wants to go. So that's what I'm doing here, and then coasting. You'll see many top drivers do it as well, so these guys are probably doing the same. But yeah, allow the car to rotate, and then when we're ready, we apply throttle and just open it all the way out to the left, as you'll see. Again, activating TC0 on the exit here. Some drivers may argue it's not beneficial, but as I've seen me, a lot of the other drivers who are at the front are doing as well, and I see it does shave off a few temps here and there. So I'd say it's beneficial if you can implement that into your hot laps, especially on ACC. So the best way to do this is to bind a button. So TC, if you're in the McLaren, TC1 is what you're going to be using nearly all the time. Unless you're in an endurance race, you'll be using TC2 and 3. Save tires. But so for this scenario, when it's TC1 in the sprint race, you want to have TC1 bound here and TC0 bound here. Depending on what wheel you have, I have a Thrustmaster TSXW, so my buttons are simultaneously next to each other here. But if you've got a wheel like a Fanatec, which has a dial, that's even easier. You can just dial it to 1 to 0. I remember I was using a Fanatec when I was up at an event, I think last week, and it was really easy to do. Just dialed it up and down, and it was really good. So yeah, but no, okay. So let's get into the rest of it. So yeah, TC0 here. 1 second. Got my Halo hydration bottle here. It's a great drink, honestly, as well. It really helps me with fuel for races. If I do, I'd check it out 100%. If you're looking to be natural, you know what I mean, that's what Halo are about. It's all about natural ingredients, all things like that. And yeah, it's a great drink, honestly. I'm really enjoying it at the moment. It's really helping me with my performance in races and honestly in exercise in general as well, giving me energy. So yeah, but no, let's get into it though. Last sector here. It's a very simple sector. But yeah, again, it can make or break your laps. The last sector is very important, and there's also a very, very, very challenging corner coming up at the end of it. So I'll speak to you about that in a sec. So yeah, TC0 here, flat out through here. Again, want to be using all the curb here on the left to give yourself the best turn in, opening the corner up as much as you can. So yeah, about at this point you want to come off it, aiming for a late apex here, and then again opening the corner out to the left. And then yeah, at this point it's just flat out until the last corner. So again, keeping it in TC0 to. It's a very hard one to explain to you, but it's like just the slightest traction TC could kick in here and there with a little bump. So it's the least time you could even find, like ever. But it's like when you're competing at the top and them slight tenths and hundredths matter. This is what the reason for this is. So yeah, but it's not necessary, you know. So again, you can see what Boothby's doing here. He's going all the way on the green to get himself the best, opening the corner as much as possible for the left-hander here. I don't do that personally because I feel the green scrubs off some speed, which I've seen it do. But I could see the reason for it, and I think I've definitely done it sometimes. So by all means, use all that to get the best turn in for that corner if you feel. But I do use it to a slight extent, but I don't use all of it. So yeah, aiming for the apex here. You don't want to be touching this curve. I think I do this lap, but it doesn't do anything to that extent, but it can be a bit dangerous if you go on the grass, for example. So yeah. Yeah, using all this though, making the corner easier for you. And then you want to kind of straight like this. So this is the really important corner. This is the last chicane. This can make or break your lap. I've had so many laps which are going to be really good and being ruined here. So yeah, the most important thing you want to do here is nail your braking point, and you want to straight line this point. So you don't want to be turning right, turning left. You want to be straight lining this. You're going to be straight lining it up there. I'm turning right instinctively because the driver in front of me is to the inside. So like I said to you, on a hot lap it's very different. But when the driver in front of you is a particular line, it's instinctive to follow them in a way. So yeah, that's what I do here. But yeah, so my braking point here is after the 150 meter board. So I see this, and I'm like, okay, start to brake now. And yeah, also that, what was it? Board ahead of me, or above me. So I see this board, and as soon as I go under it, I'm like, okay. 150 meter board, I'm like, okay, brake. So here, the braking technique is trail braking to a massive extent here. It's a really important. So, again, what's going to be a hard press of the brake here, and then slowly down the gears. Staying to the left as long as possible to get the best turn in here. So, you can see, some drivers may go for the apex early, but there's a sausage curve waiting for you there. So, you have to nail it perfectly to the fact where you can judge the corner. So, you just clip the inside of the curb, just about, and it positions you perfectly for the left-hander coming up. 'Cause this is the thing. When you go into a corner, you got to think, has it got another complex coming up after it? You got to think, has it got, will this corner affect the next one, which they always do. But it's a different, because if it's like a corner which is going onto a straight, yeah, that's simple and different, and you can take that as fast as possible. But with these corners, you got to judge in your head, okay, if I go into this corner slower, will I then get a better X out of the next one, which will then lead to the straight, which will then lead to better lap time? Or do you attack the corner fully, but then you may miss the apex? So for example, you'll see here, now the apex here, all the way to the left, so I have a really good turn in for the left-hander of the next part of the chicane. And then Boothby here misses the apex slightly, so he then gets a bad run into here, and he has to do, it's a slight inch difference. You can see my car slightly wider than his, but you'll see the difference it makes here. Now look at the difference in turn I got there. You can see I got a much better exit than him, just because of that slight difference in turning. It's little minute differences here and there, but it adds up to a massive difference, and that is probably the difference in like 2 tenths. You can see the gap he had before he went to the corner here. You see the gap he has here, and just because we utilise the braking point perfectly and get the perfect turn in, and he slightly missed the apex, just slightly. You can see Saklari nailed it here as well, but he just slightly misses the apex, and look what happens. Getting all that time on him. So, yeah, that's lap of Spa. Honestly, it's a yeah, it's a great track. It's I enjoy the race a lot with these guys. Some of these guys are the best in ACC. And yeah, I love the race, honestly. Competition for me is everything, and no, it was a tough one, honestly. I think we could have got so I can show you right here. We could have got, maybe could have done a little bit better here. Like, I'd say there was a few places we could have got some moves done. But yeah, no, for real though, I did enjoy the race. It was a really good one, for real. I enjoyed it a lot. And yeah, it was great competition by these guys, for real. But yeah, I think the best thing to do now is kind of show you guys a hot lap. I can just show you the hot lap of the track. Yeah, but no, that was a slow walkthrough of it, and I'll just show you a lap of me behind Boothby. He was a very good driver as well. So yeah, I'll let you guys sit back and enjoy that. Alright, so that was hot lap of Spa. Yeah, as you can see, it's a bit different when it's kind of fast and flowing compared to normally. Um, yeah, that was a decent lap. It's kind of a mid 2 minute 17, I think. This is on race fuel, so I'd say, yeah, we got 2 minute 16s earlier in the race. But yeah, I think, yeah, that's kind of normal race pace, especially conditions were hot as well. It was kind of, I think, 34 track, 27 air. So yeah, it was quite a hot race. But no, had a lot of battle during the race as well, especially this moment as well with Sakari here, side by side into the complex here. You'll see. It's a good battle. Good job by him as well to defend this as he was in the back foot here. You can see him out there. He did a good job in the brakes there to hold that. Bit of contact there, but in the end gave him the space. Yeah, it's a good battle, honestly. But yeah, good job by him there. But no, yeah, brought it home in P5 in the end, which wasn't a bad result, honestly. Pretty different result. So yeah, P3 was to qualify, but I'm sure we'll get it next time around Kyalami. So yeah, and then I'll tell you guys how that race goes as well, and we'll probably do a video of that track as well. I know there's a lot of races on there after, but yeah, it was a good race, honestly. Enjoyed it a lot. And yeah, just have to see how round 2 goes. You know, Kyalami, it's gonna be a good race again. And yeah, hopefully go for that top 3 spot. So yeah, it was great doing this coaching video, guys. I'm enjoying doing these. So yeah, hopefully there's a lot more to come, and we'll be doing some more on Kyalami, I think, at the end of the month. So yeah, let me know if you guys enjoyed this, and I'll be sure to do some more coming out soon. So yeah, have a good one, guys. Take care.